So thank you everybody for showing up this evening. It is the afternoon where I am. My name is Paul Austin. I will be your host this evening. I've been with the company, since before it opened. Yesterday was actually our seventh anniversary. June 18th, 2016 is when the company officially opened. But just a little backstory. I kind of have to go into the past to really share my true story with you and how this all came to be. So, not so long ago, but it seems like in my mind, yet was 7.5 years ago, was when I was introduced to this technology before the company had even opened its doors. And my friend said to me at the time, I was in Texas, I remember, and he said, "Hey, would you like to see some magic?" And then I said, "Sure, why not? Show me some magic. What do you got?" I thought it was going to be a card trick. I thought it was going to be something. And actually, he ended up pulling out, and I just happened to have mine on a mannequin, but he pulled out a pair of socks. And I kind of chuckled and I said, "Okay, so what are we going to do here with the socks?" And he said, "Well, this is going to seem weird, but I'm going to get you to sort of line up in a certain position so that I can show you how this technology works." I said, "Oh, technology. So you mean it's in the sock?" I'm confused. He said, "Well, so am I." So how about I just show you what it does? And when you feel what it does, that will change everything. So he got me to stand in like an upright position with my feet shoulder width apart. I made a fist and a straight arm. I had to make sure my shoulder stayed where it was, that my arm was straight. And he was beside me and he lifted up on my fist as I pushed against him to meet his resistance. And as he lifted up, I easily just fell to the side. There was no, it wasn't like he tossed me or whatever. He just simply lifted and off I went to the side. So I said, "Okay, that was interesting." Anyway, so he put me to put my hands together and put my feet together. So the other one was a lateral stability test. He was trying to show me you get in and out of the car, you get in and out of the bathtub. That was proving how we're unbalanced in that respect. So when he did this one, fist on a fist, my feet were put together, and all he did was come in and he pushed straight down on my fists, and I just held them tight. And what ended up happening was, as I fell forward, literally I could have landed and gave him a big hug. So that was interesting because that was my core strength, and very easily he knocked me over. So then he said, "Put these socks on." And I said, "Okay." So I put the socks on, and then he said, "We're going to do the exact same thing we just did again." I said, "Oh, okay." So sure enough, I stood there and I, made this nice and straight and tight, and he started lifting up and I resisted him. And as he was lifting, I'm literally in the same position you're looking at me now. I did not move. I was stunned. I was trying to grasp, okay, are you really lifting up? Or are you just making crazy faces like you're trying? But I could tell he was lifting 100%. So then I thought, wow, that was crazy. How's that even possible? So then he said, "Okay, turn to me, do the fist on a fist, feet together." He came in, he pushed straight down, and I did not move. I literally could stand like this. He could have climbed up me and changed a light bulb. That's how strong I was. And then after that, I said, "This is crazy." Like I'm trying to grasp it. And of course, then we got rid of the socks. And then I was going to get him to do it again. But before I did that, I had somebody that was with us and I brought her over. And I said, "Okay, I'm going to get him here because he's over there in the corner and I'm doing this myself." So I said, "Okay, go in these positions." And sure enough, I did it. And the girl fell and fell forward. And then I put the technology on her, and then I did the demo again, and she did not budge. And I was trying as hard as I could. And then I looked in the corner at my friend and I just said, "Oh my gosh, like what's going on here?" Because now I knew that he's out of the equation, that there are no tricks or gimmicks, that this was the real deal. So when the company first started, we used to demo people with these insoles. And right here is just an example of where the tech is. It's technically on the top of this insole, as you can kind of see the cupping there. But ultimately, the pattern is in here. And it was all done with different densities of foam. So when you press down on it, it sent triggers to how it had to, affect the foot. But then as Jay noodled and noodled, he said, "Look, not everybody's going to be able to get these in their shoe. Not everybody is, we're not going to, it's going to be hard to get to 1 billion people with just this." So he noodled and noodled and spent a lot of money on research and development. And of course, that's when he came out with the sock. Now we were super excited because here's the pattern. People put it on their feet. Everybody was happy. It was great. But again, there's a lot of people, they don't wear socks. They're in hotter climates. They're in all these different, variables that would maybe not allow them to try our technology. So as the years went on and as we were sharing this and being very successful and helping people, all of a sudden one day, Jay came out with this right here, a patch. And as you can see, I'm just going to try to get it on an angle. It's kind of hard unless there's glaring lights, but there's a pattern on the top. Now that's Jay's fingerprint that protects the company, but the other pattern is under here. It's in the glue. It's on the base of this patch. And all you do is you peel it off and you stick it on. And I have two here. I've got another one here. I've got one on my shoulder. And I use what I need. I only use the patches where my lifestyle requires them. So the way you work this is everybody wants to have this patch on because this is our foundational patch. It's just like the socks and insoles, except 10 times better in efficacy. So now we've left iPhone 6 and now we're on to, let's call it iPhone 15, because that's the next one to come out. So now all through triggering neuroreceptors through pattern technology, all it's doing is touching the skin. It's sending a message to the brain, and the brain decodes a very complex message, but it tells it to do something to help you. And that's really as simple as this is. No drugs, no ingredients, FDA registered. We have all the bases covered, drug-free, everything you could imagine. And that's what we want. That's what the world needs. And we have that. And we actually don't only just have one patch, we have 11 of those patches. So when there it is. Sorry, I just wasn't even on there. So what the purpose of me saying my introduction and how I got into it, it's very important because it's an incredible story. The journey that I've been on is just unbelievable. But the journey that we've had has just brought such joy and things I can't describe to people that waited for this for years, that suffered for years and years, and were looking for a solution. So this quote, let's go invent tomorrow instead of worrying about what happened yesterday. This is how we transition, because we used to have the socks and insoles. Now we're transitioning in the last year to these super patches. And it's incredible how many people we've helped. And what's great about it is it's not just the socks used to touch on things. It was kind of all encompassing, where now we have specific solutions for specific issues. And that's ultimately where we want it to get to, because then the product is zeroing in on what it's supposed to, and it's helping people with so many different things. The list goes on and on. And I don't consider this a product. I consider this a technology. And I try to talk to it as a technology, because if you look at technology and what's happened, look at what Facebook's done, look at what Zoom's done. Here we are. I've got people from all over the world right now watching me present this. I couldn't imagine back in the 1970s, 80s, when it was fax machines and there was no way that we would be able to get this message across. And as technology comes, a lot of doubt is there. Like, when the plane came and the Wright brothers said they were going to fly, everybody shook their head and said, come on, you're not going to fly. No one's flown before. That's not going to happen. And they did it. They made it happen. My teacher said that I will never, ever, my math teacher, I'll never have a calculator on me at all times. So I need to know multiplication, division, all these crazy algebra, you name it. And guess what? I have a calculator with me within 2 feet of me every second. But this was not possible back then. This was not in somebody's vision moving forward, but it was in other people's visions. So technology is important to, just accept it and realize that this is what's happening. When you look at AI and what's happening right now, this is just another whole thing that's coming. And we're going to have to be open and receptive to it, because that's where things are going. And when it comes to doing a business and helping people, the technology boom is where it's in the trillions of dollars. It's the space that you want to be in. We're not a Me Too product. You can't get this at, Costco. You can't get this at Sam's Club. You can't get this anywhere except for us. You can't get it on Amazon. And all these things are important because in order for the business to be sustainable, Amazon's like a business killer. We need to educate people, support people, make sure they're using it properly. We're not just going to say, hey, here's, let this get out of control. It doesn't even make sense. And that'll never happen. We are going to always be in control of this company and how it moves forward. And our ultimate goal is always helping people. And that first goal is 1 billion people. And obviously we want to get to 6 billion because there's 2 billion newborns and things that don't really need what we have yet. So the technology is so important to feel, because I can tell you how great everything is and, whoop, whoop, this is awesome. But until you actually experience the tech, that's the ultimate trump. That's trumps everything. If you feel this technology, you feel the difference, then that is what makes you want to either continue to use it and tell all your friends, or join us on our mission to help this billion people, because we can't do it alone. We need 1 million reps, and we got lots of room for that. So please think about that as you're, using this and thinking about how many people that you could help, and what joy it is to say, get somebody weaned off drugs or not using invasive things. So what I'm going to do is, instead of me trying to explain how that whole pattern works and all that stuff, it's easier if you just listen to the man himself, Mr. Jay Dhaliwal, the inventor, CEO, and he will explain exactly how this works in just over a minute.
Hi, everyone. It's Jay with Super Patch. I hope everyone's having a great day. People are always asking me, Jay, how do these super patches work? So today I'm going to give you guys a high-level explanation. So first things first, every physical, emotional, psychological function has a corresponding neurocode in our brains. And these neurocodes, which are just messages, sometimes get stuck or damaged for 1,000,001 reasons, but that leads to poor health, poor wellness, and even poor performance. So after 12.5 years of research at Super Patch, we actually decoded these messages. We decoded the neural code that can help and control the neurofunction of physical, emotional, and psychological function. So every single super patch has a pattern and ridges in it. And when these ridges come in contact with our skin, the patch uses the receptors in and on our skin to send that message to our brain. And the brain decodes it. So every single super patch is generating a very specific signal that's responsible for a physical, emotional, or psychological function. And that's how the super patches work. So all 8 super patches have their unique QR code that's sending a unique message that our brain decodes. And that's why we can help with so many wellness, performance benefits that people are seeing. So till next time, you guys have a great day. Talk to you soon.
So we have all taken our phone and put the camera on and scanned a QR code, and it went somewhere, or that somewhere decoded the message, and it opened up something, whether it's a web browser or somebody's business or Facebook page or whatever it is. And that's truly no different than this touching our neural receptors, communicating with the brain and telling it what to do. So why our technology? Well, what are the needs out there? First of all, people are in pain. They have low energy, brain health, sleep issues, fall risk. It goes on and on and on. Compromised immunity. On the performance side of things, people need better exercise performance, sports performance, more power, strength, recovery, and all these incredible things. But what are our solutions? Well, unfortunately, the solutions today are drugs. And then what happens is you take those drugs for something specific, but then there's side effects to that drug, so that they say, we'll take this drug because that will help with the side effects of this drug. And it goes on and on. It's just a really crazy cycle that we don't want to get ourselves into. A lot of people don't want to change their lifestyle. They don't want to change their diet. You know, they don't have a lot of time. They want something to work, not wait 90 days for something to happen. But that's just what we have nowadays. And that's why the super patch is the most incredible alternative to a lot of these things that we need and want, but we don't have solutions for. So ours is a drug-free solution. It's instant and effective, easy to use, non-invasive, non-reactive, child safe, super important. Our kids need this technology. Pregnancy safe. You don't have to change your diet. You do not have to change your lifestyle. And it's very, very affordable. So if you're okay with just peeling this off and sticking it somewhere, it's all you got to do. You can continue on doing what you've always done in your life. So what I want to do is show you this incredible. This is Louise. All you got to do is watch this. On the left, no tech. On the right, she wore the Liberty patch. And well, you'll see for yourself.
Last July, I woke up one day and couldn't walk. It came completely out of the blue. My children had to come and help me get out of bed. And I've had problem with my right leg ever since then. I've tried all kinds of things, magnets, far infrared, lotions, potions, medications, physiotherapy, oils. And since we don't have a main floor bedroom in our house, this is how I was having to walk up the stairs. Four weeks ago today, I started using the Freedom and the Liberty patches from the Super Patch Company. And this is how I walk up the stairs now. I'm very grateful.
Very grateful, and I would be as well. You can't deny what you just saw there. That is real. That is a real person. I know her. I've chatted with her online, and she's just overwhelmed with joy. I mean, imagine just having that change that rapidly. So we have solutions, guys, for pain. We have it for sleep. These are huge issues across everybody. Someone has one or the other. We have a lot of stress and anxiety in the world. We have this is just a patch that I've got to show you. Like, I've seen this live blood analysis. This is an immunity patch. What it does for your blood is truly incredible. And I'm just going to show you right now. So here's before wearing this Defend patch. This patch was put on somebody, and then 30 minutes later, a blood sample was taken again to see what the difference was. And if you look on the side that just opened up now, as you can see on the left, before wearing it, the blood is all what they call the Rolo effect. It's stacked on top of one another. It's deformed. There's not enough oxygen around the blood cells, the red blood cells. We want that to have all the oxygen. We need that to come up to our brain and the rest of our body to make it easy to go through the small capillaries. And if you look 30 minutes later, unbelievable. If you look, they've now went all circular the way they're supposed to be, and they have the proper oxygen around them. Here's a patch you may not even feel, but you know what it does. And I don't have allergies and trouble breathing and all that stuff. And I got it on right here every single day. I know what this does. I have to wear it. There's no question about it. So this is Liberty, what you just saw in the video with the lady walking up and down the stairs, the difference. This is the Flow patch. ADHD is rampant, and it's crazy right now throughout so many different young people as well as old. This is the patch you'd want to try. This is a Victory patch for athletic performance like never before. It helps with strength, balance, recovery, all sorts of amazing things, muscle enhancement, and all those great things. And this is a focus patch we have for studying, for focusing in on the task at hand. And we also have our Ignite patch, which burns calories at a resting metabolic rate. So you burn 25% more calories at rest, literally sitting here right now. I have it on right here because I need it. If I stood up, you'd know. And The next one is the Kick It patch. This is for bad habits and things like that. I've seen stories coming in on all these patches. They're amazing. This is our newest patch, Joy. It's just start feeling your best and be happy and joyful. So that's our lineup. Why the Super Patch Company? Literally, it's the biggest breakthrough in 50 years in health and wellness and performance. There's no competition with our product. It's drug-free, no ingredients, and safe for everyone. As mentioned, we're 100% drug-free. We're FDA registered. We are a type 1 medical device. We have all the peer-reviewed published studies. The patches are made in the USA, and we're opening up another factory possibly in Europe, and we're just working on it. So, and when it comes to UK, this is how you get started. It's $50, and that gets you 2 free packs of patches. You get a 28 pack of Liberty, which is this one right here, and then you get a 4 pack of Freedom, and it's that one right there. So you get a 28 and a 4 pack in the package. So it's a 75-pound value. You're only paying the 50 pounds to enroll, but just make sure that you can't purchase a kit until after. You have to wait 7 days. And this is one of our packs. It's the Mega Launch Kit. I'm just going to quickly go through these. Someone can share all this information with you. There's also the Super Patch Business Builder Kit, and then there is also a Founding Member Kit. So remember, these kits cannot be purchased until 7 days after initial enrollment. That's just a rule that they have in the United Kingdom. And then now we go to the European model. This is again 50 euros. You get the $75 worth of patches I mentioned before. And right now we have the ability for you to come in with a business pack, or you can also be a founding member, and or come in with a membership, or also come in with being a founding member. Now, again, in this case, you can purchase this kit right away. There is not a restriction, but the shopping carts aren't open in Europe right now, so customers cannot purchase yet. Hopefully that's open by the end of the month. So what I'm going to do now is stop my share, and I'm going to get to some stories, because really this is all about the stories. So what I'm going to do is kick it over to, oh gosh, where Stuart, and I was just looking for something there, and let's hear some stories, guys. If you could just, anyone just, pipe in, unmute yourself and let us know what you've experienced with the patches so far.
Hi, Paul. I can talk if you like.
Oh, hey, Jill. Sure, please do.
Okay, well, I'm wearing, I don't know if you can see, I'm wearing the Liberty patch, and I actually forgot to put it on yesterday before going to church. So I couldn't believe, like, my balance was off. I was kind of tippy, and I said, oh, shoot, I got to get home and get that patch on. And I feel so good. Like, I feel my energy was even dropping last night, like around 7:38 after we came home for dinner, took hubby out for Father's Day. And I was feeling like so tired, like not my usual energy. And for my hubby, Brian, he, as you know, he's a tree guy, handyman, fence deck guy like you. And I put him on the Victory patch a month ago. And wow, he has chronic fatigue syndrome before we started the patches. So he has that issue. And we put him on the Liberty patch, and he doesn't come home and have a nap and after having his soup and rest at lunchtime. He doesn't come home after come home and have a nap after having his lunch. He has sustainable energy all day, and we added the Victory patch, and he says, oh, thank you so much. He's a little bit tired, but he works hard. And he is like changed. Like, I cannot believe, he's so happy that I gave him that one. So that's part of my story.
That's
Well,
fantastic, Jill.
Sorry?
Thank you so much.
You're welcome.
Go ahead.
I have a testimony. Can you hear me?
Virginia?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead.
I have really bad, well, I don't have it now since I've been wearing the patches, but I suffer from depression and anxiety. And I've been taking pills for the last 15 years. And in the last 4 months, I've been using the Joy Patch and the Peace Patch. And I am now off of one of my medications. I asked my doctor takes, whenever I go in and see her, she takes makes me take a depression test where I answer some questions. And 2 months ago, my depression score was 0 from wearing the Peace Patch and the Joy Patch. And so now I'm off of one of my medications, which is just fantastic.
That's amazing. That's amazing news.
Yeah.
Must
Yeah.
be so happy about that.
Yeah, I'm really happy about that.
Yeah, fantastic. And thank you very much for sharing. That was brilliant. And Evelyn, you've had your hand up for a while. Let me ask you to unmute yourself and tell us your story, please.
Hi. Paul, you were the one that actually voxed me. That was the first time I ever had the demo done, and wow, amazing. So since then, I've had just so many results. Like my migraines are gone, plantar fasciitis has cleared up. Just amazing. Recently, though, I had a new hip put in. My left hip is brand spanking new, and my surgeon allowed me to wear both my Defend and my Liberty patch. And he wanted to know all about it, right? And he was amazed by the results when I went back for the follow-up. So I'm 3.5 weeks post-op, and I am just blown away by my results. And of course, I've added some other patches since then. My Ignite, my Peace, and my Flow. But I'm really grateful for my surgeon for allowing me to wear the Defend and the Liberty, and just made the world of difference.
It shouldn't really matter with a young person like yourself, though, should it? Yeah, it's fantastic. So what kind of things do you think you felt differently whilst you were going through the surgery and recovery afterwards?
Okay, so I mean, I was off all my pain meds within about 2 weeks, and was using a walker for a bit. Now I'm on a cane, but it's almost like I can toss my cane. But I just want to get permission first while, when I'm outside, just in case I hit a dip or something in the concrete. And the incision, oh my gosh, like it has healed so beautifully. Like the nurse that was looking at it, she was, commenting on it. And my physiotherapist as well, she goes, oh my God, you're like, when I was doing the exercises, she goes, they're synchronized. And I'm like, isn't everyone? Right? So just things like that, so amazing, like to get the feedback from the professional world as well. So
yeah, brilliant. Thank you very much for sharing that story as well. That was brilliant. So it's also very important to share, I think, that we should never, we don't advise anybody to give up medications. It's purely the medical advice that can do that for you. So it's very important to consider that as well. So Paul, Evelyn, and the other ladies that have come on to give us their stories, fantastic. Thank you very much for sharing. There are some other stories available, Paul. You've got a testimonial site. How many testimonials are on there currently?
Oh gosh, we're up to almost 60,000 people. But the stories that are in there is just, I can't even count. It's in the tens and tens of thousands. So we haven't heard all the stories. We've helped 7 million people. So 6 million with these, and then we merged to the patches, and now we've already helped 1 million since January on the super patches. So we're about to see that number just keep changing rapidly. So
fantastic. So Paul, thank you very much for giving us the information in this call. It's been absolutely invaluable. And obviously this will be available on recording afterwards for those that weren't able to log in. I think there were some problems with the registration things as well. So we've got we've only got 35 people on the call today, which is lower than last time, probably because it was a bit of a problem logging in. So so thank you very much for your time. Please remember that if you're watching for the first time and you're inspired to try some of this technology, speak to the person that introduced you to this call and ask them to give you some more information, because that's the way we operate. We're a very friendly bunch of people, and we certainly don't steal customers off people, and we operate in a very ethical way. So please go back to the person that introduced you to the call. So Paul, thank you very much for joining. Thank you very much for everybody else giving us your afternoon, evening, or late evening, depending on where you are in the world. It's been great to see you all, and have a great night or afternoon.
Thank you very much.
Thank
Thank
you.